Check. Yeah.
What? We're good.
Yeah.
What's going on?
There we are. Yeah. You are listening to 100.9 FM. This is KWTN, the Big Voice Radio. You are listening to the Big Voice Sports Talk Show. We are live down here in Lincoln, Nebraska. This is your host. Coach Q is in the house, and right next to me,
B-Luv is in the house.
B-Luv is in the house. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, look at us here. We are down here at the Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln, Nebraska at the Nebraska State Basketball Tournament, boys division. B-Love,
Yep.
we are in the house, bro.
That's what's
We're in
up.
the house, man. Hey,
We're liking it.
so we are going live here down in Lincoln because we're going to be here a little bit later on this evening when the Bancroft Rosalie Panthers go down in their first game here in the 2025 state championship tournament here in first round game. B-Love against
Yep.
St. Patrick's
St. Patrick's and the team's way out west.
out in Columbus, Nebraska. I
Is that
believe. Yep.
that's where from? Yeah, they said
Yep.
I ran into a couple of to a family. We had some wind before we came over,
Yep.
and I ran into a family over there. They're got to visit with them a little bit. They seen our clothes and their clothes that they had, so they're like,
Yeah.
we talked about a little bit about the game. Mentioned of that grandson playing for Bancroft, and they have their sons playing their starting point guard. So we kind of exchanged some good vibes, sent
Yeah.
back forth to each other. When that game comes, we kind of got a number that we can kind of keep eye on from the other team anyway.
Yeah, that's cool, man. We remember we had a lot of different stories from back in the day, even about 10 years ago when Winnebago was going to state and stuff, and we would see people all over the place, and then we have the Winnebago fan gear on,
Yep.
and then just that Winnebago Indians merch had people turning their heads saying, "Hey, you guys are from Winnebago,"
Yep.
and so it feels good for
Yep.
the community of Bancroft, Rosalie,
Yep.
to get those same kind of head turns and stuff
Sure.
like that,
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's all about basketball, and we've been hooping.
Yep. The thing is that just to mirror off what you said about Winnebago there, when I was talking to that family over there, and they said the last time when Winnebago was down there, he said we came down about 10 years ago, and when Winnebago won, and we made it to all three of their games.
Oh,
so
wow.
that was 10 years ago, like I said, and they're here again. So they're really liking it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Hey, B-Love, we're going to have a little bit of noise in the background sometimes, but we're going to continue on. So the sports show today, so we're going to talk a lot about, being down here in Lincoln for the state basketball tournament. We'll talk a little bit about girls and boys and, our experiences from being down here as fans, as big bros, as, big cousins, all that kind of stuff too,
Yep.
B-Love, and we got enough stories to cover more than just one show.
For sure.
Okay, but we're going to kind of skip around a little bit, and we're also later on in the show we're going to get into another reason why this weekend is special in our community in Winnebago is because all the youth basketball teams, this is their end of the year tournament. They have a big tournament down here. The YMCA in Lincoln has this big tournament called the Midwest Invitational Tournament. It's called the MIT. This is the 43rd year that they're having it. In Winnebago, the community of Winnebago has been sending our kids down here to play in this tournament as the end of the year tournament because
Yeah.
after this weekend, then the basketball season's over. Then they start getting into baseball and stuff like that. So we're going to talk a lot about MIT We have a lot of teams in our community going, and I have the full schedule for everybody.
Nice.
And we had a lot of those teams that we're gonna talk about that's in the tournament. We had them on the sports show sometime throughout the year.
Sure. Yep. So, some of them teams that have been doing real well for around town, yeah, they're all going to be down here, and I like it because, up there in Sioux City where they compete up there, they pretty much play the same teams over and
Yeah,
over.
I agree.
So once they get down here, they get to see where they're sitting at on a talent level against bigger schools.
Yeah, like Lincoln schools, Omaha schools. You
Yep.
got Grand Island schools. Different
Kearney.
Kearney schools, bigger towns, bigger cities in Nebraska. If you think about big cities in Nebraska,
Yep.
But the cream of the crop, they got a lot more kids to work with, and so it's seeing where you're at the end of the year.
Exactly.
That's perfect,
And I'm ready. I mean, like we talked about, we got all these teams coming down. I actually, it wouldn't be me if I didn't boast about any of my grandkids. But I have like 5 of them playing down here this weekend, including KJ Blackhawk, which is going to be competing in the state tournament here. I think he's even going to be playing. He's going to be playing ball all weekend. So
yeah, he sure is.
What I wouldn't do to be young again and have those kind of legs.
For real,
that
man.
is nuts.
For real, B-Luv, and then then after we talk about MIT, we're gonna probably end up talking a little bit more about Bancroft and the game tonight and stuff like that. But we are also gonna go and get into talking about another tournament that's gonna be coming up, basketball tournament that we're all following all the time and we always go to, is the All West Native American Classic down in Denver, Colorado.
Yep. We went down there back to 10 years ago when the boys won the state tournament, and they went down there and they had a real good showing. I think they came up short and finished like second, but they've been sending teams out there since, so it's just, and Winnebago they always have good showings out there. I like it.
They really do. They really do. And then we'll really get into a deep conversation about that because the All West tournament is celebrating their 40th year this year, and then I don't think we got the chance to talk about this on our last show, but there was a list of legends came out on a 40-year anniversary, and I saw your name on there. So we're gonna definitely get into that, and we'll talk about all that back in the 1990s stuff,
Yeah.
And
cool.
But we got a whole hour to talk about it, man. So let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get going.
So anyway, hey, Lincoln this weekend. I'm probably gonna be going back to work tomorrow, and I'll be back down on the weekend, probably on Friday or Saturday, right? Where are you staying at, bro?
Well, we're just staying at home. It all depends on how Bancroft Rosalie does tonight. So if they win, heading back, staying home, going to work tomorrow. I'll be off Friday because if they win, then they'll play at 10:30 on Friday morning.
Okay.
So and then if they win that, then the championship's at 9. I don't even know if they, what it is if they lose on there. But then we have the MIT, so we'll be down there all
I'll just say, as long as you know the schedules, man, and then I'm one of those guys too. Like I got Bancroft 3 games, potential 3 games on my schedule.
Yep.
I'm coaching a high school boys team, a freshman sophomore team down here at MIT, and then also a 4th grade girls team. So, dude, I'm gonna be busy too.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Yeah, we'll be all over. More likely we'll be at, we'll try to catch all the locals, or our locals, catch their games. And we talk to my wife, and we're here for the long run, for the weekend.
Yeah, man. Hey, so I'm gonna give a shout out to all you guys out there watching the show. I mean, me and B-Luv, we walked in here. DJ Besame is right over here on the 1s and 2s. DJ Guaranteed is in the background too, working on lights, and he'll be joining us here in a little while. But we're all down here to enjoy this view here, and then take care of our sports show at the same time.
Yep.
Bro, we are making history every year.
Yep, every year.
So we'll kind of get into it and talk a little bit about I guess the history of the state tournament for I guess the big show, or the big boy sports talk show.
Slow it down, bro. Slow it down.
Big boy sports talk show, and the production crew.
Yeah.
Like we made history a couple years back.
Yep.
Go ahead.
What I wanna just give, since we're talking about it, I wanna give them a big shout out right now, Bess and DJ Guaranteed.
Yep.
I seen Mr. Guaranteed run up and down these stairs about 10 times, and he had a different shirt on. I think he's sweating it out. So but just them doing what they're doing up here, and just seeing them putting everything together and getting us all set up so we can bring the sports talk show live from Lincoln. These guys, people don't know. They hear us, see us like that, but they don't see behind the scenes. And
we got the easy job.
Yeah,
we got the easy job. Hey,
so
man, that's a good shout out, bro.
I give them props, man.
That's a good shout out, bro. Hey, so like I said, so a couple years back, man, the Big Voice Radio, we made a history. I had the first all native uh, production crew down here doing live radio show from the game here in Lincoln
Yep.
for the state tournament, and that was Santee.
Santee game.
When Santee played, that was a really good game. It was man, and we had the best seats in the house, right
Yeah.
down there.
I wasn't on that one, the Santee game.
No,
I-
I remember Coach Huge,
Yeah.
our DJ Huge was
Yeah.
was on there.
Yeah.
And we when at the end of that game when the guy called the technical on Santee guy, me and Coach Huge just looked at each other, shook our head, and we was like, it had to happen. And then we already knew,
Yeah.
And but that bro, we broke through some barriers, man. We were down there. We was the first all native crew to do that.
Yeah.
And then last year we were making history too because we not only covered this area or the area back home, but the waves were all over Lincoln, Nebraska too. So we had a lot more to cover.
Yep.
And then this year, look at us now.
Yep.
Third year into it. Now we're going a live show down here
Yeah.
at Devaney. You
Yeah.
know, and if we
Showing growth is all that is. I
dude,
love it.
I do too, man. And I know that the tribe is probably really proud of the Big Voice radio.
Yep.
And the production crew too as well. So
Yep.
So nice shout out
Yeah.
to Gary and those guys.
We're kind of debating on what we're gonna do if we want to do the Bancroft game down there courtside. If we're gonna stay up here, I love the view from here.
I know, I do too.
But
I mean,
those guys-
but the view down there is incredible too.
Yeah. Well, we'd be able to see the numbers, like I said,
Yeah.
closer. So unless someone gives me some binoculars or something, but I like
Yeah.
it. I like it.
Okay, so then let's talk a little bit about Bancroft, bro.
Okay.
Like Bancroft, they've been this is familiar territory for them.
Yeah.
Here in the last decade and a half,
Yep.
something like that. And I know that I believe it was 2019, 2020, I believe, that Bancroft pulled off state championships.
They're back-to-back,
back
yep.
to back those years. And then I know that they had another showing. I think it was back in 16 or something.
Yeah.
Like
So yeah.
that. So Coach Meyer, he's really he's in a familiar place here.
Yeah.
And I know he has a really young crew this year, and I bet you he really feels good because having a young crew and getting down here, he's probably really looking forward to, I mean, these games here, but also looking forward to the near future down at Bancroft.
Yeah, he plays with like a 6-man rotation, maybe 7, but 4 of the 6, or 3 of the 6 are seniors. There's only 3 underclassmen on the team. We got 2 sophomores and a junior that all 3 are starters. So they should still be decent again next year, but we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
And I talked to, we seen Coach Myers at the pep rally earlier, and he talked and he said that he didn't really know what to expect with this team at the beginning of the season. He said then what turned it around for him is when they played, what's that team down in Fremont Bergen. So they came back and they beat Bergen. They're down big on Bergen, and then they came back and beat them. And that was like the 4th or 5th game of the season. And then he put in his mind like, wow, hey, there's something here that we should be able to do. And I was at a majority of their games, and yeah, they did pretty good. They did pretty good. I mean, they're a good, solid basketball team.
Yeah, and I know that that basketball is really deep in that Meyer family because his brother is the head coach down at Oakland.
Yeah.
In Oakland, I know that Coach Meyer in Oakland, he made the state tournament a couple of times too in his tenure down here as a head coach too. So I know that, and we used to play against. I played against Aaron.
Yeah.
I played against Aaron, and I think you did too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then our little brother Pete played against Coach Meyer from Bancroft.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Aaron Meyer from Oakland. Yeah, he used to be a shooter. I remember the young guy. He's a pretty good shooter.
Yeah.
Cheesy guy.
Yeah.
If you're listening.
Never passed the ball.
Yeah.
Never passed to me anyway. No, but yeah. So Bancroft looking forward to really looking forward to this game tonight. They play that team from Columbus, St. Patrick's. I saw their record. I think they lost 6 games, but the games that they lost, they were close games against bigger schools. And so this is the test now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you got through all those The sub districts usually got to play 2 games, unless you got a small sub. You might only have to play one, but then you go into a district final, and so really, you know, 3 games, and then now you
Well,
get to the big test.
well, what happened? What happened with Bancroft Rosalie that they played the team that's warming up down here now, Howells Dodge.
Yep.
They played them in the second sub district game,
Yep.
and Howells Dodge pulled it off a close game, but Howells Dodge and Bancroft were number 2 and number 3 in the power points.
Yeah.
So with that loss, Bancroft had the Howells Dodge. They moved up and they had the wild card game, which they played.
Yep.
I think it was Newcastle,
Newcastle.
yeah, and
Yep.
then they ended up beating them pretty handily. So
Yeah.
so that's how they got down here. And just to let you know, the listeners out there, that if Bancroft should win tonight, and if Howells Dodge wins tonight, then they'll play each other on Friday morning, which is going to be the rubber match, because they played each other earlier in the season and Bancroft beat them by like 14, and then Howells Dodge beat them districts by 4. So
And
it's
that's
gonna be a
and
good
that's
game.
that's the hump that they're trying to get over, is to be able to dominate this Howells Dodge team, because last year they met them. I mean, they always meet them. They're in their district.
sub-district, yeah.
Yeah, in their district. So they always got to worry about this team here, just like Winnebago's got to worry about Ashland Greenwood.
Now they do, yeah.
I mean, because no matter what, if you win out, you got to play them in the district final.
Yep.
And because they're a basketball school.
Yep.
So, but hey, this is exciting doing this show right up here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm loving it. Not to kind of like toot our own horns or anything, but this is the Devaney Center, and I don't know if the cameras ever panned out there yet, but
I think they might have. They got them
Did
set
they?
up.
Yeah, because if they panned out that second, when Winnebago's played that second round game against back in 16, they played Elmwood Murdoch. This place here is standing room only, not an empty seat in the whole house.
Yeah, I remember that.
They come down, it was nuts, and that's when Baby Dave threw that one off the backboard to himself. Had everybody in the whole building just erupt except for that side over there. They all was wondering.
They were all wondering what just happened.
What just happened there? Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah,
Hey, I want to give a couple shout outs, man. We just got done talking a little bit about the teams, the past Bancroft Rosalie teams that won the state championship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I believe during that time they were Bancroft Rosalie Lions Decatur, I think.
Yeah, you might be
I think
right.
during just that time there. But just a shout out to a couple of ball players that I remember off that team. Rest his soul, but Mario Aldrich.
Yep.
He was a native boy. He's an Omaha boy that went down there and dominated. He dominated his position.
Mm-hmm.
He dominated on defense and offense. And then Kenny Appleton Jr.
Yep.
Boy, I'm gonna tell you what, man. That was like one of the premier point guards that I loved watching during those years right there.
Yeah.
Around our area, because those guys were dominant, man.
Yeah.
They had a backcourt that was sick.
I seen right after high school. I seen Kenny playing. It must be a league game somewhere up in Winnebago. I seen him. Almost got my record for most points down in the league. I think I still had him by 30 points though, but he scored like 50 points that game. But yeah, and bro, I seen him throwing 3-pointers up from everywhere, and they were going in, and his shot didn't look like it was a real fluent shot, but oh boy, it was falling. I literally sat there, and I went over there when they called a timeout. I went over and gave him, shook his hand. He used to be a good athlete. Another athlete that real good down there was the little Lucas Vogt.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Too. Got to give him props too,
Yeah.
because as short as he is, I mean, I thought I was short, at 5'10", but this guy got to be about 5'8", 5'7", and he was catching two-handed alley-oops
Yep,
from the
I've seen
baseline,
that.
baby.
Yep.
Like give a big shout out to Lucas Vogt, for he's an icon down there. You get certain people in your community that are legends, and no matter where they go, everybody remembers them from what they did.
He was actually on the coach. I don't know if he was a volunteer coach last year, but he was on the bench over there.
Yeah.
When last year for Bancroft, I've seen him
I
over
think
there.
he's one of the assistants for the varsity, and then he's the junior high coach.
Down there, the junior high coach. Oh, okay.
So I'm saying that Bancroft's going to be sitting pretty good because they got some good, decent coaches down there. They with player development.
Yep.
Even if the younger ones aren't develop too much. You get to somebody like Lucas Vogt to teach you the fundamentals or teach you the game. Hey, you can't go wrong.
Yep.
You can't go
Yep.
wrong.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good job. I mean, he was a good bat. His dad. I played against his dad in numerous sports growing up, and so obviously the athletic blood runs in his veins too from his dad because his dad was a pretty good athlete and all of everything. So.
Yeah. And his dad still coaches the Omaha Nation girls basketball team, which they're pretty good too.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Vogt family right there, man.
That's right.
Hey, B-Luv, just kind of like looking over to the side over here, man. It looks like Howells Dodge and DCS are getting ready to show down in about 3 minutes and 40 seconds, man. So during the show, there's gonna be a game going on, and that's incredible to have that in our background. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yeah, man. If anybody out there is listening, have any comments or any kind of thing you want us to talk about the Bancroft basketball teams, just leave some comments on there, right there on Facebook with us, and DJ Bestman will get some of those questions out to us and stuff like that. So B-Luv, anything else about what we're talking about just now? Because I'm going to change it up here in a little bit.
Well, I'll just give one little, letting those guys know about some of the Bancroft team, and I don't know if it's a little fad they got going on or something like that, but a couple of them all dyed their hair blonde. So you got a couple of the native boys that are going to run around with blonde hair, bleached hair, I guess.
Bleached hair?
Yeah.
Probably trying to get some calls from the rest of B-Luv.
Bro,
That's genius.
I said the same thing.
That's genius, bro.
Noon's Brittany Snyder said that she told at the thing today. She said that. He said, he wanted his hair turned blonde. And I said, he might get a couple of calls now down in the polls.
You already know.
That was crazy.
Oh, hey, that was a good little side
note
right there, B-Luv.
Yeah, my grandson was almost going to do it too, but he didn't. So, but I bet you, if they win this one, he's got a whole day to think about it if you want to do it for the Friday's game. So we'll see what happens.
Well, B-Luv, man. So the state tournament is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, with all the championship games happening on Saturday at the Pinnacle.
And third place games.
Third place game over there too. Okay.
Yep. Well, not at the Pinnacle. They'll be going on that day as well.
On Saturday. Okay. Yep. But what else is going on this weekend? And I talked about it at the beginning of the show. Was the Midwest Invitational Tournament. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the Midwest Invitational Tournament is a big basketball tournament that is put on by the Local Y down here in Lincoln. So shout out to the Local Y. Y'all are the bomb, because we love coming down here for the tournament, right? And this year is the 43rd annual tournament, and I think we've been bringing the kids down here for the last 15 to 20 years every season, and we kind of treat it as our state tournament. A lot of times we'll come over here on the weekend to watch some games, just to let the kids see, like, this is what hard work looks like, what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's perfect timing for the MIT.
Yeah, and then remember on that video that about the MIT back when Jeff and those guys, Jeff Berge and the Winnebago boys won at 15. Then Diami was a little bitty guy, remember? And we talk about Diami a lot on the show because he's one of the premier athletes that ever came out of Winnebago. All around athlete. But anyway, he was just a little bitty guy, and then that video that they made after the state tournament, they showed Diami on there, and they said that he was fired up after they won the state championship. Then he was like, hurry up, Dad, let's go. It's my turn now, because he wanted to go play. And then he was playing in the MIT tournament back then. So, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how it feels for these young ones, and the tournament actually starts really young, but I think Winnebago starts in third grade. They bring all their teams up from the third grade all the way up to the last year you can play is your 10th grade year.
Yep.
So you have, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7, 8 years just to come down to this tournament, and it's always the end of the year tournament right here.
Yep.
And so that's what's going to be going on this weekend. But before we get into that, we got somebody new that's hopping in on the show right here. DJ Guaranteed is in the house.
B-Luv. What's up, guys? Made it down.
Yeah, so we was me and B-Luv, we were just talking a little bit about Lincoln being down here, experiencing the state tournament and everything like that. We're just gonna start talking a little bit about the MIT tournament, and then we're gonna get back to Lincoln again, to the state tournament, and we're gonna get into another tournament that's out in Denver in a few weeks, the All West Native American Classic. So we got kind of a full show ahead of us, and so just chime in whenever you feel. You know, just chime in whenever you feel like you need to. You know.
Yeah,
And
we've got about 30 minutes left in the stream here, and just wanted to get a couple of things. Bethany was like, I
Yep.
wonder what everybody's thinking for his final predictions and stuff as they're going to be going into the national anthem here. And you remember how that was and stuff when everybody used to come down and man, the rafters, and remember they even had to try to find a different venue and stuff when the natives took over and stuff. It was pretty awesome.
Yep.
And I know that there's a lot of people just on the road right now trying to make their way. This game right here is Howells Dodge versus, what is it, Dundee County or DCS?
DCS, whatever that
And
means.
Howells Dodge is sitting at number 2. And the prediction is that Bancroft will get past their first round, meet up with Howells Dodge. Howells Dodge is 1-1 versus Bancroft.
I just talked about it, right before you got on. I just said that. And
B-Luv said this is the rubber match.
it'd be the rubber match come Friday if they both are lucky enough to win their first round. Then they'll be playing each other.
Max Preps has St. Patrick ahead of Bancroft in the Max Preps. You know, the seeding wise and stuff like that on the bracket. Bancroft's number 3, and then St. Patrick's number 6. And so, but Max Preps is thinking, I don't know if they tally up the points or use the algorithms or the AI and stuff like that, but they're predicting that they're going to get past BR tonight. So it's going to be an interesting game tonight.
Yep.
And then another interesting game if they make it past that, and then, shoot, we could see it. You know, are we going to be here Saturday?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. You know.
Yeah. It all depends on what goes on tonight. Is if we're going to stretch our state tournament.
Bethany, you have that game from the district finals. We're going to run some of the highlights and stuff of the last game down at Bancroft. B-Luv was there.
Yep.
Q, I think you were at Choco Key Sweat concert or something like that. I'm not sure. But
See Keith Sweat about 17 times. Ain't nothing different.
but man, it was an awesome game. Some key takeaways from that game there.
Well, they took them a while to wake up, but you know, I think what even like tonight's game, what they have to do, they need to box out.
Yeah.
They need to box out. The last time they played Howells Dodge in that sub-district game that they lost, nobody was boxing out.
Right.
You know, and it's just common sense basketball. You know, just stuff that. But I don't know what was going through their mind, but if they played how they played that next game or the game before, if they played that against Howells Dodge, that sub-district game, they would have beat them easily. So if they both get by there and then BR plays their game, and then all the shooters are actually, you know, if 2 of the 3 shooters are hitting, and they're boxing out, they should own it. They should own that game.
Yeah, the game was pretty interesting. I think Bancroft got some confidence right off the back, and I think that's really important for Bancroft to get confidence. That second quarter has to be huge for Bancroft.
Yeah.
If you look at it, the averages, they average like 18 points on that second quarter, whereas the other team averages like 14. St. Patrick's. So we're going to see who's going to pop off and stuff.
So I got to see a couple of Bancroft games. You guys got to see a lot more games, but what I remember about Bancroft was the boxing out too, you know. And I said it about Winnebago's team all the time. You got to box out, you know. The more possessions that you have, the more opportunities you have to score. So, but one thing I noticed too is that is like the turnovers. Like earlier in the season, I remember just hearing about the turnovers, the unforced turnovers, right? But then toward the end of the season, you hear more about being smart with the basketball and taking care of the basketball, you know. And then I think that Bancroft's record shows that, you know, from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, that they've grown a lot in that category because, you know, to keep the possession of the ball, you know, that's your shot right there. You turn the ball over, you're just giving the other team possessions. You know?
One thing that I noticed too about Bancroft is they all like to shoot the 3, but they're all capable of driving the hole and getting to the bucket, and they're all capable. They're quick enough; they can do that. But the thing is, sometimes if you're shooting and you're missing, do something different. Get the ball to drop a little bit, drive in, go to the hole, get fouled, go to the free throw line, you know, stuff like that. But you know, that's what they didn't do with that one game, and then they ended up losing it to Howells Dodge. But they kept shooting 3s, and it's just like, oh my goodness, guys, nobody's hitting. Do something different, boys. Come on, you know. So they still barely lost, but it is what it is. They should be all right if they do those things.
So let's talk about the atmosphere. This game's going to kick off here. We can't stream it. So tonight we're going to be audio only. Just tune in if you can, because B-Luv and Coach Q are going to be calling the ball and stuff. You know what I mean? we'll be running around getting some B-roll and stuff. But yeah, man, when you walk into the Devaney, you know, your hair stands up, you get goosebumps, and like all those people and parents and stuff like that. You know, that's just like, man, you know, you shook my hand, Q. He's like, we started small, and now we're making our way through here, and appreciate like the Bancroft community. Just to recap, they had a great pep rally here today. Cheerleaders, shout out to them. Coach Meyer, the whole, even top from bottom, you know, the crew across the board is really supported, and you know, Rosalie being on the Omaha reservation, they're featuring 2 of the starters are from the Omaha res, and then we have Winnebago starter, that's Mr. Blackhawk, and you know, it's exciting to see. I know that all of them across the board, they're putting in work. They did a lot of off-season work to make it here, and it should pay dividends and stuff, you know. So it's going to be an awesome game.
He was talking about their pep rally that we were down there. We were both down there. They had a couple of different games that they played with the team that I'd never seen before. It was cool.
but you love when they're playing, man. Was you like, dang, man, hope nobody.
I did. There was that running after those balls and trying to do that. I was like, someone's gonna get hurt. And then because they're doing like a musical chair thing with plates, and then what they did is they had balls lined up on each side of the lane, and then you walked around, and when the music cut off, then you had to run. Everybody had to run, go get a ball, do a layup, and get back to one of them plates, and then they take one out all the time. And geez, man, early on, when they're all doing it, man, they're flying at each other, like shooting up, jumping up there, like holy smokes, they might turn an ankle or something. But it looked fun. They did pretty good at that game. That was pretty cool.
So right now it's 6 o'clock, and you still have time to come down here if you're thinking about coming down and supporting Bancroft Rosalie. They're going to be taking on a great team from the Panhandle, and 7:45 is tip-off at the Devaney. Safe travels to those that are coming down. But I wanted to get to you guys. Did you guys already go through your keys to victory?
Not yet. We didn't. But we kind of talked about it a little bit. But I know that when we start the live stream for the game, that we'll have everything. You know, the keys to victory, like all in line. So, but we've been talking about it too, about Bancroft's patience and like the turnovers, like we just talked about. So we'll definitely have B-Luv's keys to victories right around game time, and then myself and G. And then if you're gonna be on, get your keys to victory too. Yeah,
for the pre-game.
Yeah, the pre-game.
So we'll kick it off at 7:30, audio only. We don't have permission to do the video and stuff like that. But we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska, the Big Voice Radio, Bethany and the crew and stuff. Ho-Chunk Incorporated, they really helped out. Even some of the Omaha tribal members, Taro, they just really, came together. And I think they, in this area, we are always trying to support natives, whether it be Santee. Remember, we came down for their game. Walt Hill came down. We had Winnebago coming down for a number of years and stuff, So it's very exciting. It's state basketball, beautiful weather, beautiful travel weather and stuff. You can't ask for anything better.
It was crazy. When you talked about the atmosphere when you first walked in and stuff like that, and here, me and Quincy just sharing it, so we kind of looked out and see the people all in here, and as I brought that up, that second game, that semifinal game back when Winnebago played Onward Murdoch. Remember this place here? Standing room only, all the way to the top, all the way around. Standing room only. And I said, that's when Baby Dave caught that one off the window, and remember he threw it off the backboard, and he dunked it on everybody, and everybody just went nuts down here, except for that team that were playing. And I was like, what the hell just happened?
I think I was the last one to leave Winnebago, and I had to turn off the lights. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, crickets are chirping. Even crickets are
robbed everybody first.
I want to send a shout out, man. We had some comments and stuff. Some people are coming down. Keisha Barrage, appreciate you. Oh, Bill Decora is grabbing something to eat. Him and John are on their way. Linnell Fremont, we appreciate your support. I know that her son is playing and stuff. You know what I mean? So she really appreciates that, and I know that there's a lot of fans from Bancroft in the supporting area that are on their way down again too. So want to send a shout out and the love,
Yeah, definitely G, and you guys that are listening, we're gonna try to give you guys the best show we can tonight, live from the game at 7:45 tip-off. So I appreciate the shout out, G.
Yeah, and then we're showing some of the highlights from the district game. It was packed there. They had a good game. I know Porter had a good game, and then they had some help off the bench. Bancroft doesn't really play a lot of guys off the bench and stuff. Maybe just 2
Yeah.
that usually kind of come in and stuff. So if they go into deep water and stuff, we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on that. So the key to that is to make sure that your players don't get into foul trouble. And I think Porter kind of got into foul trouble the last game. So, you know, he's a big.
That's his aggressive defense that he likes to play. He likes to try to get steals. I was telling Quince earlier that when he was down there at the thing, there's I don't know if it's that little fad or what they got going on, if it's for here, some of those boys, those native boys dyed their hair blonde. You see that?
Oh, yeah. I see that at the pepper alley.
Yeah, so that's what me and Quince is like, well, that's a smart move. You know, maybe they'll get some calls down here now. You know, we're just kind of laughing about it. So, But I was like, that little fad going on down there. I've seen a couple of the boys like that.
So they approached you and said, if they win, you guys got to dye your hair?
I said, I already could.
B-Luv?
Yeah. Just rub.
The grandpa whiskers?
Yeah, just rub some yellow paint on her head.
Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. But sports and stuff, I know that, man, there's just a lot of things. I seen that Carlos, to kind of change the subject here, Q. Carlos, man, he was out in Vegas and then seen him on a plane heading out, huh? So
he just came back for the weekend.
Yeah.
Came back for the weekend, so you see his family a little bit, and he'll be back out there again next week to continue on.
Is that where he's training in Vegas, huh?
Yeah, in Las Vegas.
Yeah, he ran into like Hank Sarah and all those guys, and they all had Aaron LaPointe them. Yeah, that res conference that's going on. Yeah, he ran into them out there, and they took him to eat at a buffet, I think at Caesars, which is probably the most expensive buffet out there in Vegas.
Well. Tribe's dying.
Yeah, UCI's dying. They got it.
We're going to have to get them to sponsor our stream and stuff or give them a shout out for that buffet, right?
Oh,
yeah. Sponsored by Caesar's Palace.
Well, I think we got a few minutes left, you guys, and I think I want to finish off, get into the MIT tournament, B-Love.
MIT again?
MIT, we didn't even talk about it.
Oh, okay.
But so MIT, we have a number of teams going down, starting from the 3rd grade all the way up to the 10th graders, and then boys and girls. And like personally myself, I have 2 teams that I'm coaching. I have a high school boys team, which is my sons and my nephews. And then I got my 4th grader, my daughter's team coming down here, the Lil Wowunks. So and then there's other teams coming down here, man. Your granddaughter's gonna be down here.
Trav.
Your grandaughters are both gonna be down here playing ball. B-Love.
Yep.
And what grades are those? 5th grade girls.
5th grade girls and 8th grade girls.
8th grade girls.
Yep.
And then I know that.
And then I got one of my grandsons, Tyson too. He's 4th grade boys.
4th grade boys playing for 5th grade Warpath, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, 5th grade
Is
Warpath.
it? Okay, yeah.
So I was just gonna say that too.
Oh,
So
okay.
the Warpath basketball team are bringing the 5th grade, 7th grade, and the 8th grade team down. So we'll be represented like that. Evan Decora is bringing his 4th grade New Breed boys basketball team down. They've been doing really well. They were on the show.
Yep.
Who else is coming down? I believe the Whirling Thunder is sending down their 3rd grade girls team. Kai Willow's on that one. They won a couple championships this year.
Oh, really?
And Maddie Cleveland is their coach. So they have a coach that's been down here in Lincoln playing the state tournament.
Yeah.
You know, Maddie. And then let's see who else.
So it's very important that we mention these guys because that's the road to get here.
Yeah.
Is those tournaments, the off season, the AAUs, and all that stuff.
And so what I mentioned to Buff earlier was that a lot of the times this MIT tournament is kind of like used as the Winnebago community's state tournament for all the grades. You know, like B-Love said. Up in Sioux City, we play a lot of the same teams up there, but when we come down here, we play people we never played before.
Yeah.
And you get the cream of the crop for the Omaha and Lincoln area, Grand Island, Columbus, Kearney, all those big towns. They send their kids to this tournament here, and so we get to see like where our kids are sitting with their fundamentals and their skill level and stuff like that.
Right.
And sometimes we end up pulling off a first place down here. You know, with the Winnebago community our boys' high school team, we won the last 2 years. This is my first year. I'm bringing the 4th grade girls down, so we're gonna see where we're at.
They won 4th grade girls last year. Carlina and those guys won the tournament last year.
Yeah. So
we'll
you guys
keep them updated and stuff. Just to give you a score updated here on the Howes Dodge game. It's the first quarter, about 3:45, and it's a whitewash so far.
Yeah.
DCS has not scored, and Howes Dodge has 10 points. So again, the Howells Dodge is number 2. On the other side of the bracket this morning, on the D1 side, is that what is it, Sheldon, or who's number 1 seed? Anyways, it was
Bronson Jock, or
yeah, they advanced on. There's no upset. So 1 seed moved on, and then I think the 4 seed they moved on or something like that.
Yeah,
So
that second game we got here right at the end of that second game was a really close game. It was down. The team was down by 2 points. Got a chance at the end to either tie it or
three shots
win.
at it.
Yeah.
They got 3 shots at it. They got a good post-up move by the big guy. Didn't get the foul. Got bumped a little bit, but no foul. It got kicked. It got bumped, or how would you say, deflected out to this guy on the 3. He shot the 3. He missed it. Big guy got the rebound, put it back up.
Missed it. Yeah.
So I got something to talk about here is that the last time I was here is when Santee played.
Yep.
And no, excuse me,
Wall
Hill. Yeah, we were here last year.
Yeah.
But before that, Santee played.
Yep.
And you remember they were down a lot. They came roaring back in that third quarter and then almost tied it up in the fourth quarter with the end of regulation, and they got that technical. So you guys were kind of mentioning the fouls and the refs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We have a episode coming out on the Winnebago in the News that I want you guys to read.
Okay.
And Brian Chamberlain, the editor, he's the one that wrote it, but he's talking about some really bad reffing that's taken place, and it seems more often than not that it happens to the native communities. I don't know. That's what it seems and stuff. But there's a couple other instances, that shouldn't have been. I got screenshots of the press saying that it shouldn't have been the ref's decision to determine the outcome of that game.
Yeah.
You remember that? I mean, that was this horrible.
Yeah.
I think the guy flopped.
Yeah.
The guy flopped, and he said, if you want to reward that play, I guess you can win and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coach Waylon LaPlante, he was the one that mentioned that. And I was kind of behind the scenes. I went into the locker room, and he said, hold you guys head up. You got nothing to be ashamed of. And it was just, that flop that was interesting.
When that happened, that happened right in front of me where I was sitting out over here. And what's his name, Saul?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Austin.
Austin.
He did that earlier in that quarter, and he did elbow those kids.
Yeah.
But that guy, that second one, he did get elbowed, but he played it real nice.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say nice because I'm really against flopping and all that stuff. I just grew up playing basketball in the '90s when it was a man's game, but
yeah.
that he played it off. He did get fouled. I mean, it was a foul.
It was the only way that team could have. That was the only scenario that the team that they could have got an advantage at that time.
Yeah.
Was to do that because it wasn't their ball.
Was they up though? Was Santee up at that point when they did that?
I believe so.
I think there was.
I'm gonna give you 2 more as far as refereeing.
Okay.
The refs and stuff.
Let's go.
We're gonna go to wrestling. Now I watched the video and stuff, but Precious Decora, when she, I don't think she got pinned and stuff. Now I'm not the expert on wrestling and stuff, but to my understanding, you got to put both shoulder blades on the mat.
Yep.
And it didn't look like she had it, but bam, they pinned her. And that was in the championship game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yes. And so I didn't agree with that call. So I gave kind of Brian, I said, take this instance, and that's another one. The third one happened to Bancroft.
Yep.
And Pender.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that Blackhawk, he got ejected right away.
Yeah.
They said that he threw a punch and stuff, and then they ejected him. I don't know. To me, you guys are refs. I'm not a ref and stuff like that. So here's what everybody's probably saying. Garen wants to call it and all this and that and stuff. You become a ref, so you don't complain.
Yeah.
That's a great statement and stuff like that. But at the same time,
Yeah.
Hey, let me get this one real quick. Okay, you can back me up on this one. Okay, so me and Scott, we ref for the school. We ref all the junior high boys games and the junior varsity boys games throughout the year for the last 15, 16 years, right?
Yeah.
And they always ask us back. You know why? It's because even the other community says that was the most fair officiating that we had all year long.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Winnebago boys, they always think that because we're reffing that we're going to give them the calls. No.
Yeah.
That's not teaching them anything, That's not teaching them anything because this is where they got to perform at the highest level. This is where they're trying to get. And if your refs are giving you the calls, how are you supposed to overcome down here, you know?
Right, right.
And so we try to do a fair job. Me and B-Luv, we've been doing basketball ever since we was born, and I think me and this guy, we respect the game too much to do that to people.
Yeah.
So we're like the fairest
Right.
refs.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
So-
and I was thinking that I don't think he got a foul, but that was his first foul. I don't know what the ref's seen, you know, but it's a teachable moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just to eject him and like, what
so,
was it?
So what they should have done is they should have just blew the whistle at first to call dead ball, and then the referee should have got together and said what happened just now.
Yeah.
Or if they were gonna at least tech him up, but then after that, then have a discussion, you know, or whatever. But not just hey,
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so I was there. That happened like 30 feet in front of me, 20 feet in front of me. There was a scuffle for the ball. They should have called a jump ball to begin with. The kid from Pender rolled with the ball. He rolled over with it, pulled it away from, I think it was Porter. Pulled it away while he was there, and there was two of them on him. And then when he turned and he rolled over with the ball was exposed over here on this side. KJ come and jumped, he dove. And he dove on the side of the guy. He landed next to him, but as he landed on his stomach and he grabbed the ball and he pulled it away. That's all he did. And then the guy called it was on the other side this way, and he said that KJ swung at that guy and hit him in the groin. That's what they said. And they're looking at videos that it got so upsetting that we had Bancroft fans, the non-native fans, literally hollering and getting upset, and they had to have staff come over and calm some of the crowd down because it was a bad call.
Yeah.
And so, you know, then he got kicked out, and then he even had to sit out a game. And you know, so, you know, I mean, how you can say lesson learned, but what do you learn off of that? A bad call.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you're not gonna. So what? You don't want him to go for loose balls, and you don't want him to be aggressive. You know, so that's kind of what he's like. You know, it was bad. That was a bad call.
Yeah, it sure
Keep
was.
going, guys. I'm gonna try to get a shot of Bancroft right now. I think they're gonna be heading
they come
into
walk
the,
in?
Yeah. I think they're gonna be heading into
Oh,
the
there they
room
go.
right there. So
Yeah.
there you
Those
go,
boys
guys.
are going back. They're going back to turn on their playlist, bro. Their hype playlist, and
yeah.
get in the locker room and get themselves ready.
Yeah, they be.
Get those ankles taped up, man.
So
It's
for
gonna
those
be a
that are on
good
the stream,
game.
yeah, check it on out. That's I think Sam Dick has the new hairdo. Is that what you
Yep,
guys mentioned?
yep.
And there's a couple other things and stuff, you know.
I even
so.
think Drake Porter's even kind of got some little highlights too. I don't think he went full-fledged blonde, but I think he's got himself some highlights.
Wow. Now check out this score. Go ahead, Q. Take us away on that score
Oh,
on this
just that
first
quick.
game.
Oh, this Howells Dodge. Hey,
It was just
I'm
10-0.
gonna tell you a story real quick. It's the beginning of the second quarter, and Garen just now said a while ago it was 10-0, and now the score is 14-12. So Howells Dodge still up by 2, but yeah, that was a low scoring first quarter.
From what we're used to.
But let me tell you something. I came down here one time. It was when Christian LaPointe, Aaron LaPointe, those guys was in my fifth and sixth grade squad. I brought them guys back, and we watched the state championship here at Lincoln High. And then this kid named Tyus Canby. Remember Tyus Canby? Anyway, he's an Omaha boy. He's from the Miller family. I think he's Jeff Miller's boy.
Oh, okay.
But he was Class A, and they was in a state championship game playing against another team. And they were down 10-0 end of the first quarter. And they came back and they beat them. And so Canby got himself a state championship, Class A, playing
Nice.
for Lincoln High. That was pretty dope. I can't remember what year that was, but that was
Another
back in the day.
Winnebago boy that has himself a couple of gold medals. I don't know I think they're Class B though. Is Sky Aldrich with South Sioux.
South Sioux, yep.
Yeah, so he's got himself a couple of state titles. He played with old Iowa legend Mike Gazelle.
Mike Gazelle.
Yeah.
Kind of helped. They had that 7-footer too.
Oh yeah, that
Jose.
also, yeah.
Okay, so I was going to ask you guys. Bancroft doesn't have a lot of height. How do you? What's the neutralizer for height?
I mean, you
gotta box out.
You gotta box out. You gotta just get low, get your base low, and you gotta use your body. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, fundamentals. You can't.
There's
you can't
techniques.
push.
Yeah,
You know,
there's
you gotta do
techniques
it.
to boxing out, and you gotta, and it can't be just your people that are down low. Everybody's got to stay in rebound because sometimes you'll get those guys sneaking off there where they want to try to get the ball pushed up and get an open layup. No, you if you want to get a layup, everybody's got to stay back and get the ball because you can't get a layup if you don't have the rebound.
Yeah.
You know? So they need to all hit the boards.
We don't know too much about St. Patrick's. They're on the Panhandle.
Yeah,
we look
we're
up
out
their
there.
max preps and stuff like that, but it's going to be a good game. We're gonna try to get the program and everything ready to roll and stuff. We got about 10 minutes, so you guys, I know you guys do long shout outs and stuff. So if you guys want to start those,
Oh yeah, we did that. We did that already.
We did a couple of shout outs already.
Okay,
We do have some other stuff we want to take care of, guys. So
you guys got your early shout outs, right?
Yeah, the early ones.
So so we're gonna get away from Lincoln a little bit. And we're gonna head a little bit down to the west, bro. Head out west. You know what I'm saying? Head out to the mountains and talk a little bit about Denver, Colorado here. This coming March 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th. There's a big tournament, big high school basketball tournament, all native high school basketball tournament down in Denver, Colorado. And this is the 40th anniversary of this tournament, and Winnebago's been going down there for at least for the last 37 years, as far as I can remember. Mark Bird said he was down there when he was.
I went down with Mark one time.
Did you?
I went down 3 times.
Okay, so Mark was right, and then we've been going down ever since. And this tournament here is huge. It started off as just being like I think it was like a 16-team tournament. And then when we went down back in the late 80s, early 90s, I believe the biggest tournament was like
91.
It was like 27 or 28 teams, double elimination bracket. And so then today in 2025, they're up to 62 teams for the boys and another like 58 or 57 teams for the girls. So there's a big change. And so what they did, we used to be downtown, we used to be downtown at the Metro College down here.
Regis.
What is it?
Regis College.
Yeah, it was Regis Metro.
Regis
Metro right downtown,
okay.
Yeah. And so, but they only had one court, right? And then they played the side court, so there was 2 courts going at the same time. And then once you got to like the double elimination, once you got to Sunday, and they cut it down to 1 court, and then all the main games were played on the 1 court. And then they used to, a long time ago, they used to have an all-star game that happened at the, it's the ball center now, but it used to be, I can't remember what it used to be back in the day.
Where the Denver Nuggets played? Yeah, I can't remember.
They used to have an all-star game over there because I remember Sean Lewis made it one year, like a long time ago.
That was one of the first years that Winnebago went out there. It was that year.
Yeah, so that tournament, man, in Winnebago always shows out when they go out there. We brought hardware back a number of times. The most recent time though, last year we took 3rd place out there, and we're trying to get it. We're trying to get it. And but Winnebago's taking a varsity boys team down, a JV boys team down, and then the varsity girls team down, and then there's some other girls that are playing with travel teams. So it's gonna be a fun-filled weekend of basketball for the high school kids, down in Denver, Colorado.
Yep. I got two grandkids that are playing, and both my oldest ones are gonna be down there playing. My one male, one female. So my younger one, my female, she's gonna be in 9th. She's in 8th grade, but they asked her to go down to try to get her feet wet. So to speak. So she's gonna go and play at the high school team.
Nice.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, last time for the district game, me and Eugene called it. He's out of town right now and stuff, but he said good luck, Panthers. And then again, if they win tonight, they don't play tomorrow. They'll play on Friday. So just make sure you kind of stay tuned to that and stuff. I think everybody's going to be heading back up to Bancroft and Winnebago, Macy area and stuff. But it's really cool to see that both reservations coming together, supporting these guys. And I know that it's going to be a great turnout. We got about 6 minutes, guys.
So Landslide is giving us prospect, and he's out of town again. Where you at, boy? Now where you at this week?
He's on travel, probably out to Vegas or somewhere, man.
You got your little shirt and tie on, looking all nice.
Hey, so I want to give a shout out. I got to give this shout out right now because we just got done talking about Denver, right? So this is my shout out right here. So this coming year is the 40th anniversary, 40th annual of this tournament, All West Native American Classic. Kind of they're mirroring off of the NBA by doing the top 75. They're doing a Legends presentation down there, and they're taking 1 or 2 athletes from each one of the years from the last 40 years, and they got them on the Legends list. Right?
Oh, okay. Yep.
So my shout out is right here to my big bro. So on that list, there's a number of names on that list, and just names that some of these guys went D1.
Yeah.
There's a couple guys that went into the NBA.
Yeah. WNBA
too. And B-Luv's on that list. So I'm gonna give a shout out to my brother right here for making that list.
Hey,
right, legends,
I'm gonna just to go off of that, bro. I'm gonna
name a couple names out
there.
I know a couple names out there that I want to say too.
You got 4 minutes.
There's this lady. What the heck is it?
Just you already know her name.
Okay. Her name was Sue-Ann Big Crow. She was a baller my age, and she was from Pine Ridge. And I even think
Hooper.
she ended up tragically lost her life in
Yeah.
a car accident back when she was young.
Yeah.
And then I even think there's a
Boys and Girls Club or something like
What-
that named after her.
there's a Netflix show about her too.
Oh,
Yeah. So there's that, and then another guy. His name's J.R. Camel. He played at the University of Montana. He played in the NCAA tournament, and he played against Kentucky first round with Jamal Mashburn. And so he played, and then I played against him in North Dakota one time in Bismarck again in a national tournament. I played up there.
real fast, like when you came down to Albuquerque to see me at the police academy, we watched the game in the NCAA conference tournaments end of the season.
Yep.
J.R. Camel hit a buzzer beater to send them to the tournament to play against.
Yeah,
Kentucky.
that's what it was. Yeah. And then one of my old boys, Rusty Gillette, played with Iron 5 for a while, and he's on the list. There's this lady that played WNBA. Her name was Reynaldi Vicente. Do you remember her name? So she played, I think it was Arizona State, and then she ended up went and played WNBA.
Okay.
So those are just a couple of names that are on there with me. Then to boot, my name's kind of right in there with those guys.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
kind of like it. So I appreciate the process. Get a little recognition here at the end of the month.
Yeah, so guys, we have to get ready for the game tonight, y'all. At 7:30 is going to be tip-off. I know a lot of
7:45.
7:45 is the tip-offs.
So if you guys are down at Buffalo Wild Wings and stuff, got a little time.
I know. That's where my boys are down there. They're down there right now. I got to go pick them up here in a little bit. But you guys make sure and tune in with us. And I would even say if you want to hear the game called by us and you're here at the Devaney, just log on to the Big Voice on your phone, man. Put your earbuds in and let's go.
Yeah. Appreciate our sponsors and those that the Big Voice Sports Show and stuff. You know, you just don't cover basketball; you cover the whole area and stuff.
Yeah.
So good job, guys. Appreciate you guys coming down.
Yeah, fun
I
time.
know you guys took time away from your family and then took time to travel away from work and stuff. You know, so we appreciate that. And I think again, our sponsors: Winnebago Tribe in Nebraska. We have Big Voice Radio, Old Chunk Incorporated, Taro. The Omaha Tribe, you know.
Caesar's Palace.
the one though I'm not gonna say is they have the best burgers, but they didn't sponsor us, so I can't say their name and stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys can, but as the communications person, I can't say their name. What is that place called?
I don't know, man. You know, I like my having myself a Snyder burger myself.
Oh yeah,
I like.
Yeah, that's messed up. Right?
Hey, I got one thing real fast. Like I'm gonna give a shout out to KJ Blackhawk, to Miss Porter's kid name.
Drake Porter.
Sam Lakota.
Russman, yeah.
Lakota, and then Jaden.
Yep.
I want to give a shout out to those guys because those guys are old Warpath boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're all
okay.
Warpath boys.
Yeah.
Whee! So hey, there you go. Hey, but make sure and join in, you guys. Join in with the show tonight. It's gonna be a great game.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't wait.
Well, thank you guys. I'll let you close it up and stuff, man, and we'll see you guys on the floor. Yep. And here momentarily, go for it.
All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to 100.9 FM. We are KWTN, the Big Voice Radio. This is the Big Voice Sports Talk Show, and I only got one thing to say before we head out. Shaq and Charles ain't got nothing on us.
That's right.
Let's go. See you at the game, guys.